Hey, all right, good morning. It's Friday the 14th, July 14th. We're going to continue our reading from The Art of War and the Daily Stoic. Today's reading from Sun Tzu. Very short, sweet, and to the point. Let's see what we can gain. We shall be unable to turn natural advantage to account unless we make use of local guides. Okay, yeah, if we don't take use of like local information and local people, we're not going to be able to naturally take advantage of the terrain. And so for business, I mean, I think this kind of like maybe relates directly to networking and things like that. I mean, whether you know where you're from or not, whether you're from the area or you just moved there, it's always good to have somebody who's got their pulse on local happenings and local events. And so, maybe attending a networking meeting and things like that. So we sometimes we like to look at a different version of the art of war for some different perspectives. And so yesterday we read from this, and they tie the two together of, unless you know the mountains and the forests, the defiles and impasses, and the lay of the marshes and swamps, you cannot maneuver with an armed force unless you use local guides. You cannot get the advantages of the land. So Zhang Yu says, only when you know every detail of the lay of the land can you maneuver and contend. Local guides can be captured or recruited, but it is best to have developed professional scouts. So like Mei Yao Chen, he kind of like follows up on the teaching, like, okay, so like, looking back, that is a good idea, but don't forget local scouts can be captured. All right, not that we really care about the warfare tactics of it all or anything like that, but I think the meaning stands of, no matter where you're at, seek out somebody who knows the area. Whether it's whatever fields you're going into, there's experts, there's people who have been there, there's people that can help guide you and make you familiar and catch you up. So let's find out how that can tie into Mr. Holliday's Daily Stoic Reflections, starting out with a quote from Epictetus, July 14th. A little knowledge is dangerous. Every great power is dangerous for the beginner. You must therefore wield them as you are able, but in harmony with nature. Epictetus, Discourses 3.13.20. Great teachers are usually hardest on their most promising students. When teachers see potential, they want it to be fully realized. But great teachers are also aware that natural ability and quick comprehension can be quite dangerous to the student if left alone. Early promise can lead to overconfidence and create bad habits. Those who pick things up quickly are notorious for skipping the basic lessons and ignoring the fundamentals. Don't get carried away, take it slow, train with humility. There's a lot here, I think, that we can really pull off of. I mean, so the first thing that for me comes to mind is, those who pick up things quickly are notorious for skipping the basic lessons. I mean, I think that's a way of kind of calling everybody out. I don't know if this, I mean, for me anyway, like if I pick up on something quickly, I think people naturally want to move through things so that they can learn it and go ahead and start implementing it, or anything like that. So I don't think it's just like saying like, oh, the smart people who pick up things quickly. I think it's just saying like, when you are learning something new, be careful not to rush. um, Early promise can lead to overconfidence and create bad habits. This, I think, speaks like really in tandem with the verse from The Art of War of, like having a local guide to help you lead the way, but like early overconfidence can create bad habits. So like going back even a couple of days, like if we're marching 50 lead to gain an advantage or 30 lead to gain an advantage, so like those are all, measurements in that time period. But if we're moving to catch an advantage, this overconfidence, it can create bad habits. And so if we're not sure, where we're at, and we're transitioning and we're trying to learn a new skill, or we're trying to increase sales, or something, if we're not confident, and the bad habits come. And so the bad habits can just be a drawn metaphor. So the part about teachers, they're hardest on their most promising students. I mean, I think that's something that, as a student, if you're young, you can look at that and maybe gain some valuable insight into why things are the way they are. You might be a really good student and your teachers might just be pushing you. They may not have a grudge against you. Um, So yeah, natural ability and quick comprehension can be dangerous to the student if left alone. So always, yeah, always have people around to guide you. A little knowledge is dangerous, and I think that's what we're striving for with these readings is more knowledge and more practicality and just ways to navigate our business and our personal life. And what better way to do it than with the art of war and stoicism, combining the East and the West. I hope you guys like today's reflection, and we'll see you on the next one. Keep standing tall.